At AMSA, we begin by acknowledging the land. This practice is sometimes questioned, yet it remains deeply important. Land acknowledgements remind us that the ground we stand on carries histories, teachings, and truths. They call us to pause, to honor Indigenous presence, past and present, and to reflect on our shared responsibilities. But acknowledgement alone is not enough. To truly decolonize, we must move into action. This means reshaping how we listen, how we lead, and how we stand in solidarity with Indigenous communities. We have come to see this work as a river. A river does not flow in a straight line. It bends, it shifts, it draws strength from many sources. As a community, we choose when to step into the water, how we will navigate its currents, and even the vessels we will use. Some may paddle, some may steer, and others may carry knowledge that keeps us safe on the journey. Each role matters, should we choose to engage. Together, we honor that this journey is not linear, but living, flowing, and ever evolving like the river itself.
This year, AMSA hosted several in-person and virtual events. The 2025 Provincial Summit brought together 174 staff from BC Newcomer Services Program, BC Safe Haven, and Career Paths service providers from across the province to connect in person in an intentional and relational learning environment. This WIS Forum, the Leadership Forum, WorkSafe BC social event, and Smaller Center Leadership Day gathered service providers from across the regions for a day of focused engagement and discussions on priority topics. In November, the Pathways to Prosperity Conference was held at the Hyatt Regency Vancouver, where many AMSA staff were able to participate and support the P2P team in welcoming national colleagues Vancouver style. Webinars and other virtual events continued to deliver important trainings and insight to the settlement sector. The 2025 AMSA Talk showcased diverse artists and focused on the impact of art for newcomers in BC. Kicking off our strategic guide, the board and senior staff attended a retreat on Pender Island, where they developed AMSA's Path, planning alternative tomorrows with hope, conceptualizing a blue sky AMSA.
In partnership with the BC Nonprofit Housing Association, AMSA released the report, An Examination of the Most Acute Housing Needs of BC's Newcomers, a refugee housing strategy. AMSA's latest online video project explored the topic of using storytelling for an effective communication strategy, offering service providers with practical tips in their storytelling initiatives. We received funding and started the BC Safe Haven Resource Network indirect services together with partner organizations. Also together with partners, AMSA launched the CARE Initiative project. The project is an online complementary onboarding tool to help service provider organizations train staff and newcomers on various social service positions. AMSA started 2 anti-racism working groups, one comprised of frontline workers and one of decision makers. This was designed to consult as well as engage in the key needs and priorities of the BC settlement sector. AMSA released the e-learning on setting professional boundaries. This e-learning provided new settlement practitioners with the foundations of settlement work and reorientation for those with experience in the field.
Partnerships were highlighted this year. As mentioned, we established the BC Safe Haven Resource Network in partnership with MAP BC, BC Refugee Hub, VAST, ISS of BC, ICA of Greater Victoria, Diversity Community Resources Society, and United Way BC, and the CARE Initiative pilot project in partnership with Mosaic and Blueprint. AMSA's Indigenous Advisory Council convened throughout the year to continue on the path of truth and decolonization. Air Canada donated $250,000 to support displaced people through Operation Ukrainian Safe Haven. As part of a new partnership with Correctional Services Canada, AMSA hosted the event titled Breaking Barriers, Fostering Trust and Building Connections with Black Communities at Douglas College.
We would like to thank all of our funders for making our events and training resources possible. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, Province of BC, Ministry of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills. Province of BC, Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction. University of BC, Centre for Migration Studies. WorkSafe BC, Western University, and Correctional Services Canada.
On November 2024, AMSA was honored with the Inclusive Employer Award, recognizing AMSA's promotion of inclusive hiring and uplifting meaningful employment opportunities for people with diverse abilities. AMSA's CEO, Katie Crocker, was honored with a trio of awards. First, she was awarded the King Charles III Medal, with the nomination coming from Minister Anne Kang. Next, Mosaic presented her with the Champion of Social and Civic Engagement Award. And finally, the Sisters in Canada Wellness Society awarded Katie with the Safe Haven 2024 Spirit of Allyship Award.
At AMSA, our financial stewardship is guided by responsibility, transparency, and sustainability. This past year, we have carefully managed our resources to ensure stability while continuing to support the programs and the services that strengthen our communities. Our focus remains on building a strong financial foundation that allows AMSA to grow with confidence and to respond effectively to future opportunities and challenges.
We would like to welcome Impact Toolbox, Ishtar Women's Resources Society, Journey Home Community Society, Make a Future. After over 11 years with AMSA, CEO Katie Crocker has announced that she will be moving on from her role. During her time at AMSA, Katie has been trusted and loved by many. Her passion, strong leadership, and drive for change have helped shape AMSA into a value-driven, impact-focused organization. We thank her for her leadership and incredible impact on the settlement sector.
I don't think I ever could have imagined what working at AMSA would be like. I remember when I first heard about AMSA and I thought, well, that seems like a really interesting place to work. I took over as CEO in 2016. I went on maternity leave 6 months later and came back to an organization that was working in truth and decolonization in a way that I really didn't understand. And so I had to learn a lot. I had to follow my face and pick myself up and think, do I want to be in a position where we test our own abilities, test our feelings of comfort and security, push the limits, push ourselves. And it was very quickly decided with the team that yes, we do. Yes, it is important. And it is important that we allow ourselves to make mistakes. We allow the organization to be vulnerable. If you spend your whole time mitigating risk and you don't allow your organization to be vulnerable, you're never going to break any barriers. And I think that's what we've done over the last 9 years. I think we've broken barriers. I think we've created spaces that we never anticipated that we were going to create because we didn't know that we could do that. We didn't know that we could have a vision and pivot and still have the trust of our members and have the trust of our partners, our funding partners. And I think that's what's allowed us to do this. It's that trust. And that trust came from building relationship. AMSA is in a really great place as an organization. We grew quickly during COVID and coming out the other side of COVID. Rapid growth came with some operational challenges, but we've had time to catch up. And while we have taken a bit of a pause in growth, it's actually a really, really great time for AMSA to be exploring who are we as an organization, who do we want to be as an organization, and how do we build with a decolonized lens? How do we build focusing more of our attention on equity, on inclusion, on deeply, deeply valuing the international work experience of our staff and understanding that prioritizing Canadian work experience, especially in an AMSA context, makes no sense at all. So there's a lot of opportunities for AMSA, and I'm really excited about the new CEO. I'm thrilled with the choice that AMSA has made with Daljit Gill-Badesha to succeed me as the CEO of AMSA. And I know that Daljit is the right person to take AMSA forward and to really explore who we are and who we want to be as an umbrella organization in the province of BC, but also supporting our colleagues nationally as well.
Together with our members, partners, and the communities we serve, we continue to navigate the ever-changing rivers and streams of settlement and integration. Along the way, we remain committed to walking alongside one another with trust, care, and accountability. We know that both the journey and the destination will shape us, transforming us into stronger, more responsive, and more compassionate organizations.